Now on the CTV News at 5, Air Canada flight attendants continue to defy a federal back-to-work order as flights remain grounded. Plus, will Pierre Poilievre return to the House of Commons through an Alberta by-election? Voters have their say. And gearing up for this year's Whoop Up Days.
Telling your stories. CTV News Lethbridge with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. We're glad you could join us. Air Canada planes remain grounded amidst an escalating labor showdown. Air Canada says it is planning to restart service tonight, but it's unclear what exactly that will look like. On Saturday, the federal government ordered the two sides resume operations and enter binding arbitration, but the flight attendants didn't come back, with the Canadian Union of Public Employees saying it will be challenging the return to work order.
Frankly, if they come to the table and offer a tentative agreement that answers the call, the needs of our members, the mandate to our bargaining committee, yeah, absolutely, we'll come back in a heartbeat. But as you can see from behind me, until then, we will stay strong to our resolve. We will not be taken advantage of.
The company calls the job action illegal and insists it intends to resume operations by tonight. In a statement, it says more than 700 flights have been canceled. Passengers across the country have been forced to scramble for refunds or alternate flights, while union members call the government's back-to-work order unconstitutional. Ottawa has stepped in, ordering binding arbitration in an effort to end the dispute. Brooks RCMP are trying to locate a 20-year-old woman from that community. Fatma Ahmed was last seen in Brooks last Thursday. She's about 5 feet tall and weighs 100 pounds with a slender build. She has dyed blonde hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information on her whereabouts is asked to please call Brooks RCMP, or if you wish to remain anonymous, you can contact Crime Stoppers. Federal Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is facing a long list of competitors in the Battle River Crowfoot election today. 213 people are running against him, and instead of a ballot, voters will use a booklet and then write in the name of their candidate. Damien Couric resigned his seat so Poilievre could run in what is considered to be the second safest riding for Conservatives in this country. Poilievre is expected to win, but some wonder how many percentage points he can put between himself and the other candidates.
The question is, will he come close to that 82, 83% mark that Damien Couric got in the general election? If he doesn't, if he gets, even into the 70s, there might be questions that get raised about that. I mean, this is an absolute necessity for Pierre Poilievre. He has to soar over this hurdle.
Election Canada says correct spelling doesn't matter so long as the intention is clear, but votes that only show the name of the party will not count. By-election ballots will be counted by hand. Switching to the municipal election coming up in October, the City of Election has put out a call for election workers. The city says it's looking to hire several hundred workers to help conduct the municipal and school elections. Applications are open until September the 2nd. Multiple positions, including Deputy Returning Officer, Information Officer, and ballot counters are needing to be filled. Training for successful applicants will start in about a month. The city has previously said there is a need of about 600 workers and volunteers this election compared to only 238 in 2021 as a result of recent changes made by the provincial government. The provincial New Democrats are holding a town hall meeting tonight in Lethbridge to make the case to residents that Alberta is better off staying in Canada. The event is called Better Together. NDP leader Naheed Nenshi and Lethbridge West MLA Rob Miyashiro are among those attending. Doors for the event open at 6 p.m. Nenshi will be speaking at 6:35 with a presentation 10 minutes later. An interactive feedback session that starts at 7. Closing remarks begin at 8. The Better Together Town Hall is being held at CASA. Let's bring in Danielle Savoni to talk about the forecast for this week's Whoop Up Days. Danielle.
Yeah, looking pretty good, looking pretty dry. We got a lot of sunshine and some warmth in the forecast as well. A little bit of instability pushing in from the west. However, for the far south, we'll mainly be protected from this in most cases anyway. We do have a small chance of isolated showers in some communities. We'll talk more about that coming up. But right now, 29 degrees in Lethbridge, mainly sunny, but we do have cloudy periods as well in the forecast as we head through these next few hours. It's 30 degrees in Milk River, 31 in Medicine Hat, 28 in Brooks, 25 in Pincher Creek. I'll have your full forecast coming up, Jackie.
All right, thanks, Danielle. The Alberta beef producers have announced plans to leave the Canadian Cattle Association. APB has taken issue with the association's governance and a lack of Alberta representation. Quinn Keenan has more.
About 50% of the Canadian Cattle Association's funding comes from Alberta beef producers, but that may soon change. ABP says it intends to split from the CCA when their agreement ends June 30th, 2026.
Right at the moment, we are still a member of CCA and will work with them in all areas of national development as we move forward.
The producers say they're concerned about the CCA's governance and fiscal transparency. They suggested bringing in an independent third party to review the governance structure. Only a third of the CCA's 27-member board is from Alberta, despite bringing in half the money.
Despite our efforts in asking for change, we have not seen meaningful progression or a willingness to address these concerns. We owe it to Alberta cattle producers to ensure their dollars are invested in organizations that will align with their values and priorities.
The CCA was surprised by the announcement. They admit the ABP leaving would be a huge financial blow.
Quite simply did not anticipate any kind of an announcement like that, and very disappointed. I found, I was really preparing to engage in a lot of the issues that they had raised.
There's a belief on both sides that a deal could be reached before the ABP's exit. Conversations since the announcement have helped clarify Alberta's concerns.
I really feel like we're on the same page. We're both motivated to ensure that going forward, CCA is an effective, unified national voice for beef producers.
Alberta beef producers will stick to their financial commitments up until its intended departure date. Quinn Keenan, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Recent tariffs on Canadian canola has Lethbridge's MP calling on the Liberal government to reverse course on tariffs on China's electronic vehicles. Rachel Thomas says the original tariffs by the federal government was a poor political decision that producers in southern Alberta are being hurt by. Last week, China imposed a 75% tariff on Canadian canola, accusing Canadian producers of exporting to China for less than it costs to harvest. The investigation was launched in retaliation to Canadian tariffs on Chinese EV steel and aluminum. Thomas says Lethbridge is the heart of agriculture and the feds need to act.
All of this started because the Liberal government decided to put a tariff on China EVs. We didn't need to do that. In fact, I would argue that it was a poor political decision. And now, unfortunately, our agricultural producers, in particular our canola farmers, are suffering. The government needs to reverse course as quickly as possible and do the right thing for farmers.
Some farmers in southern Alberta have said they have lost over $500,000 because of the new tariffs. Last year, China imported nearly $5 billion worth of Canadian canola. The first of many pancake breakfasts was held this morning by MP Rachel Thomas. This is her 9th year hosting the pancake breakfast. Hundreds of hungry people lined up for free flapjacks and a chance to speak with Thomas. She says the morning is a great way to kick off the week-long festivities while connecting with her constituents.
I think my job as a member of parliament is two things. I think it's to listen and I think it's to act. And so I look for opportunities to provide a chance for folks to come and talk to me. Sometimes that's at a town hall, sometimes it's at a pancake breakfast. Folks can choose the environment that they're most comfortable in. I think something like this is a little more relaxed and people feel maybe a little more comfortable and a little more confident coming, grabbing some pancakes and maybe having a quick word with me, which is a lot of fun for me.
Thomas will be in the parade tomorrow and plans to take in some of the Whoop Up Days action throughout the week. And if you're looking to get your fix of flapjacks, there is a range of pancake breakfasts and events happening throughout the week. The Interfaith Food Bank will be hosting its annual breakfast fundraiser tomorrow before the parade. Money raised will be going back to the food bank to help those in need. Along with the usual pancakes and sausage, Interfaith will be serving up eggs, baked beans, and fresh fruit.
We are trying to highlight the need for a healthy breakfast. It's a really good time. It's by donation. People can come in and give us what they feel they are able to, and if they can't pay, we'll feed them anyway.
Along with Interfaith, Woods Homes will be hosting a waffle breakfast at its downtown location. Canadian Tire North will have a breakfast in support of Jumpstart. The Lethbridge Senior Citizens Organization will also be serving up flapjacks from 7:30 to 9:30. Polished Janitorial Supply will have Taco in a Bag fundraiser, while Mayor Blaine Higgin is set to host his annual Mayor's Barbecue outside City Hall following the parade. And Whoop Up Days officially begin tomorrow morning with the annual parade. There are a few closures in the roads to take note of for your commute. The parade will follow the same route as normal, starting at 9 a.m. The parade will leave Park Place, heading south on 3rd Street. From there, the parade will head east along 3rd Avenue South before turning left on 13th Street and going to 9th Avenue North. Multiple roads will be closed throughout the morning. Some transit routes may also be impacted.
We're super excited. We're up well over 100 entries, almost 1,200 people involved in the parade who are marching in that parade. So it's amazing to see that kind of involvement from the community. We know there will be thousands lining the parade route, so it is something that the city really gets behind, and we're excited for it.
Following the parade, the grounds at the Agri-Food Hub and Trade Center will open at noon tomorrow. Applications for the Community of Foundation's Lethbridge in southwestern Alberta Fall Grants Program are now open. The foundation is taking applications for the Community Priorities and the Henry S. Varley Fund for Rural Life Grants programs. The Rural Life Fund will help support projects from community organizations in southern Alberta, while the Community Priorities will go towards those in the charitable sector. Nearly $900,000 will be distributed this fall. For more information or to apply, you can visit the foundation's website. Danielle is back with your Whoop Up Days forecast right after this break. Plus, we'll tell you about a disturbing new trend researchers are seeing with lung cancer rates.
All right, well, we have some heat. The wind is relatively calm, but how do we fare compared to the rest of the country? Let's check that out. So in the lower 20s out east, Toronto and through that Ottawa, Montreal, Fredericton corridor there, and pretty much where we are as well. Calgary at 22 degrees. Now further to the south of Calgary, of course, we're getting more heat than that. And still on the cooler side for Victoria, for example, at 18, but Vancouver sitting at 23. Okay, now in Alberta, 30 degrees right now in Milk River, 28 in Lethbridge, 31 in Medicine Hat, 29 in Brooks. So that far southeast corner certainly seeing more heat than the other parts of the province. And that's really going to be the story through tomorrow as well. Now, this looks a lot worse than it actually is, because what we're looking at here is a lot of this activity is dying out in the mountains and not really materializing to anything on our side of the Rockies. And a lot of this other stuff, rain, thunderstorm activity, is getting redirected up and around us thanks to the jet stream. Okay, so what does that mean for us as we go through these next few hours? Well, it's pretty good for us in the far south. We're looking at holding on to a lot of sunshine. Just playing this through the rest of today and through early tomorrow, it's quiet in the far south, as you can see here. Yes, you may see some cloudy periods at times, but overall quite quiet, and the wind should be relatively calm for the most part, just up to 40 kilometers per hour, Pincher Creek, Crowsnest Pass area. But outside of that, it's another calmer day with regards to the wind. Let me advance this because late in the day tomorrow, there may be a little bit of instability that will push up really close to the U.S. border, so south of Lethbridge, and then closer to Medicine Hat. You may even see a little bit of activity later in the day tomorrow, and certainly south of Medicine Hat, we have that potential because of what's going to be pushing up from the States. This is pretty short-lived, and this is possible later in the day and through tomorrow night. And then that arrives again on Wednesday. So Wednesday, a little bit of instability possible, but that instability on Wednesday, especially by the supper hours, as you can see here, looks like it will be along the Trans-Canada as far south as Brooks, as you could see that, and then that will track off to the east. So there is the potential late Wednesday there. Okay, let's take a look at the forecast for the East Kootenay area. 11 tonight, very small chance of an isolated shower, certainly some cloud cover. That cloud cover will start to clear out for much of tomorrow. We should see mainly sunny skies with cloudy periods, gusting up to 40 kilometers per hour, and you're looking at a high of 30 degrees. Crowsnest Pass area, quiet tonight, 11 degrees, mainly clear, but the clouds will start to increase, especially in the afternoon tomorrow. Very small chance of an isolated shower, 29 degrees for the high. Medicine Hat 13 overnight tonight, mainly clear. We'll have the clouds increase throughout the day tomorrow, especially in the afternoon hours. And again, as we talked about, for tomorrow, later in the day, closer to the supper hours and tomorrow night, small risk of a thunderstorm or at least an isolated shower, Medicine Hat, and for areas south of Medicine Hat. 33 degrees is the high for tomorrow. Looking at that Lethbridge forecast, and the heat that we have now and through tomorrow will be the hottest of these next 5 days, as you can see here. So we will get sunshine, especially in the morning. Then you'll notice the clouds increasing in the afternoon, a high of 31 degrees. If we get any shower activity, likely that will be to the far east of Lethbridge for tomorrow. So it should be fairly quiet, and the wind should be calm tomorrow as well. By Wednesday, closer to that 30-degree mark, but likely just below it at 29, and a whole lot of sunshine as a ridge of high pressure builds in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even into the weekend.
There are another 17 confirmed measles cases in Alberta to tell you about. 4 of those cases are in the North Health Zone, 7 in Edmonton, 6 are in the South. Provincially, we're closing in on 1,800 cases since the outbreak began in March. Alberta continues to have the most measles cases per capita in all of North America. Texas health officials declared their measles outbreak at 762 cases over today. Alberta has never declared a measles outbreak. Doctors are seeing a growing number of non-smokers with lung cancer. The Canadian Cancer Society estimates a quarter of people with lung cancer never smoked. The society says exposure to radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer among non-smokers. Health Canada says the gas is present to some degree in every home and urges Canadians to check their levels with a radon test kit. Secondhand smoke and air pollution are other risk factors. Experts say it's important to consider lung cancer when non-smokers have a cough that won't go away. A University of Calgary professor and his team are designing a way to give nonverbal people a voice. The engineering professor has a teenage son with autism. He wanted a way for his son to communicate easily, so he's designed one. His team uses virtual reality goggles where nonverbal participants can type out words in a digital environment of their choosing, and then the words are read out loud. The technique helps them with their motor skills, and there's even a virtual therapist who can coach them while they're wearing the headset.
We've done all the foundational research and shown that these technologies can be effective in promoting independence, and getting open-ended thoughts from them. Now the question is, how do we reach it to families? Because they are in need of this technology yesterday.
Participants are aged from 9 years old to others in their 40s. The software can be fine-tuned to the user because some on the autism spectrum can be easily overstimulated. Still ahead on the CTV News at 5, Canada's Masters Indigenous Games has just wrapped up. We've got more coming up in sports. A Lethbridge racquetball player is coming home from a global competition with some hardware. Kobe Iwasa won a bronze medal in mixed doubles racquetball at the World Games in China. Iwasa and his partner, Frederic Lambert, are the first Canadian racquetball players to win medals at the World Games since 2009. Iwasa also finished 5th in the men's singles competition. For the first time in 13 years, the Regina Red Sox are the Western Canadian Baseball League champions.
Ball hit hard to center field, and it's caught. The Regina Red Sox are back in the throne.
Regina defeating the Sylvan Lake Gulls in games 2 and 3 on the road, clinching the series Saturday night with a 5-4 win. Now the win is extra special for the club. Pitcher Jesse Lubinecki was killed in a car accident in May while traveling back to Regina to join the team for the year. Teammates say he was on their mind all season long. The Masters Indigenous Games wrapped up in Ottawa this weekend. The event saw Indigenous communities from around the world show off their skills and their culture. CTV's Josh Morano reports.
For athletes like Mariah Altman and Reese Peltier, competing in the Masters Indigenous Games is a dream come true.
It's intense. I don't know. When I come here, I would be like, okay, these teams would be easy, but like it's hard. It's hardcore ball.
This is their first year participating in the event, and say being able to play the sport they love against people from around the world is an exciting experience.
We're from around here, like down more. Well, I am. Yeah. So I don't really get to meet people from up north, and just connecting and making those cultural exchanges is really nice.
Ottawa welcomed dozens of Indigenous athletes from around the world to compete in sports like volleyball, basketball, and archery.
It's our first time to the Indigenous Masters, so it's been fun. We've enjoyed it. Like I said, our granddaughters played on a couple teams.
We have athletes from Greenland, from Alaska, from New Zealand, from Mexico, like just all over. It's just a great opportunity for them to come, and that's probably the biggest difference, is that we have the country is representing them.
In Lansdowne Park, the second year of the Games wrapped up in style with the Culture Village, bringing food, performances, and the Reconciliation Run Walk, a final moment of unity.
Athletes are encouraging each other and supporting each other, and it's really nice to see them together, just cheering on each other. It's a really good experience.
For Altman and many others, the Games mean more than just competing. It's about showcasing their culture and pride.
It's like amazing that you're giving opportunity for Indigenous people, especially for older. I know like when we competed 2022 with the youth, it was just nice to meet new people.
Josh Morano, CTV News.
Still ahead on the CTV News at 5. Saskatchewan's unexpected tourism boost from a breakup ballad by one of music's biggest stars. Saskatchewan is reaping the rewards from a Chapel Roan song. The American singer mentioned the province in a new song, and that was enough to boost tourism. CTV's Alison Bamford has more on the international attention.
I'm moving to Saskatchewan.
These 4 words in a breakup ballad put Saskatchewan on the map.
This is the kind of thing that you'd have to spend millions of dollars to be able to create this kind of awareness.
American pop singer Chapel Roan released her latest single, The Subway, late last month, prompting a spike in Google searches with the word Saskatchewan.
It's an opportunity to be playful and just have a good time and not take ourselves too seriously, and we love opportunities like that.
Tourism groups are leveraging the spotlight with their own campaigns, and the buzz even made its way into one of Jimmy Fallon's late-night talk show bits.
Chapel Roan's new song, The Subway, has sparked a tourism boom in Saskatchewan.
Travel marketing experts say it's not uncommon for pop culture to influence tourist destinations.
The performing arts, they have an emotional connect with us. And travel is a very emotional thing, right? When you think about the reasons why, especially for leisure travel, why you go pick certain destinations over others, it's because you have some type of connection that you feel.
As for the Pink Pony Club singer's connection to the lyric,
it rhymed.
She shared her feelings towards the province in a recent interview with Apple Music's Zane Lowe.
I've never been there, but I promise I will perform there one day.
I don't know that I could afford Chapel Roan tickets in this economy, but I sure would have to figure out a way to do that because that sounds awesome.
Hype around one potential concert that could lead to many more visitors exploring the province. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Thank you for sharing this time with us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.